I started my route across Europe and Asia from Cabo da Roca, the westernmost point of Europe and Eurasia. Now I'm on the way to the first town on my route, Sintra. Now I'm in Sintra. This is the first town on my route, one of the westernmost towns in Europe. It is not just an ordinary town, but it has a lot of points of interest, a lot of history. So now I'm going to visit the most important of them. If you are enjoying this journey across Europe and Asia, make sure to hit that subscribe button and join me for more adventures. I can visit all of them because there are a lot. It needs maybe 2 or 3 days to explore them, and it is not my goal here, but at least I'm going to see the most important of them, most significant. For example, the National Palace of Sintra, the Moorish Castle, and of course the most famous one, Pena Palace, and some more of them. So let's go. First, I'm going to visit the old part of Sintra and to walk around its narrow streets. Sintra has a long history, and it is due to its location, the prominent Sintra Mountains, proper for fortification. Human traces are found in the area since the Bronze Age, a few thousand years ago, but the town of Sintra itself gradually formed from a few villages in the foot of the mountains during the Muslim rule in the 8th and 9th centuries, around the fortress in the mountain known today as the Moorish Castle. During the last more than 1,000 years, the old town of Sintra developed under the influence of various historical eras, and today, with its narrow streets and old houses, it is a nice and romantic place to walk. I walk on the mountain road to one of the first points of interest, Quinta de la Galera, a splendid palace in Gothic style built in the beginning of the 20th century. Today it is one of the UNESCO heritage sites in Sintra. I will not enter inside, but will enjoy it from outside. However, if you want to explore its secrets, take a look at the video of the Planet D Travelers, Quinta de la Galera, a tour of Sintra's initiation well. I back to the old town of Sintra. Now I am going to visit its main landmark, the National Palace of Sintra. Again, I will not enter inside, but will enjoy its beauty from outside and will visit only its garden. The National Palace of Sintra is more than 1,300 years old. Actually, first it started as a castle during the Islamic period in the 8th century. But the earliest version of the palace was built in 1415 during the reign of King João I. Since then, the palace was constantly renovated until the late 19th century. During that time, the National Palace was a residence of the Portuguese kings. Although the country became a republic in 1910 and the kings left it, it was restored and today turned into a major attraction, a UNESCO World Heritage Site. If you want to enter the Palace of Sintra and explore it inside, take a look at the video of Discovering Portugal, Sintra National Palace, the heart of the UNESCO World Heritage Village.
I proceed further in Sintra and around the town. Now it is time to climb the Sintra mountains and to visit its major points of interest, the Moorish Castle and Penne Palace. It is a steep hike on well-established trail with some restored old constructions. The old town of Sintra is located at 220 meters altitude, and I have to ascend to 480-500 meters altitude. It is not too much, so although there are regular public buses and other types of transportation to the top, I prefer hiking to enjoy the forests of Sintra and the views from above. I arrive at the first place to visit in the summit of Sintra Mountains. This is the Moorish Castle. This time I am going to enter inside and explore it in detail. Here is the Moorish Castle. Let's enter inside. I have bought online entrance tickets in advance, so I don't need to wait the crowds.
I'm in the next point of interest in Sintra. This is the Moorish Castle. It's one of the most significant tourist attractions in Portugal, along with Penne Palace. So let's go explore it.
The castle was built by the Muslims in the 8th century, and since then it was active at least until the 15th century, used by Moors, Almoravids and the kings of Portugal. Although in the 15th century it was abandoned, only a few centuries later it was restored and maintained until today. The wall of the Moorish castle connects two mountain peaks. Now I am in the northeastern peak and enjoy the stunning panoramic views from above, of Sintra with the National Palace of Sintra below. Now I am going to the southwestern peak, which is much higher than the northeastern one. Let's see what are the views to the surrounding area from there. From this peak and the castle tower, I can see one of the best views of Penne Palace over there. And this is the next place of my stop in Sintra, the main landmark of the town. Finally, I go to the most famous tourist attraction of all in Sintra, Pena Palace. Again, I have purchased an online entrance ticket in advance, so I entered through the gate quickly. Although Pena Palace doesn't have too much historical value, it is an architectural masterpiece. Now I'm going to enter only its gardens outside, and still can enjoy the best of it. The history of Pena Palace started in the Middle Ages. First, there was only a chapel here. Then, after the pilgrimage of King João II, he built a monastery in this place. It existed until the 18th century, when it was struck by lightning, and then significantly damaged by the Great Earthquake in 1755. In 1838, Prince Ferdinand visited the place and decided to build a palace. The palace was built in outstanding architectural style, combining the best features of various styles. It belonged to the kings of Portugal, and when the country became a republic in 1910, Pena Palace was turned into a museum as it is today.
So this is Pena Palace, one of the most famous tourist attractions in Portugal and in the whole of Europe. Its beauty made this place so famous and so popular. As you can see, it's full of tourists everywhere. It is every day. So although on my trip I focus on historical and geographical points of interest, this one is still interesting, and I came here to visit it at least outside in the garden, without entering inside.
But if you want to see more of Pena Palace, including its interior, take a look at the video of Planet Lux, Tour of Pena Palace. With Pena Palace, I finished exploring the best of Sintra. Now I am going back to the car and proceed further, but Sintra still has much more to offer. You can visit Montserrat Palace, dated from the 18th century, in the video Montserrat Palace, Sintra, Portugal, by Piotr Podróżek. Another great place is Convento dos Capuchos. I planned to explore it, but it was closed due to bad road conditions, so you can enjoy it slowly in the video Convento dos Capuchos, Sintra Walking Tour Portugal by Zen Walks. You can proceed walking in the mountains of Sintra and visit Chalet of the Countess of Edla in the video of Parque do Sintra. And finally, you can discover the Sanctuary of Peninha deep in the Sintra mountains in the video Peninha Sanctuary, Sintra, Portugal, an incredible place to visit by Portugal Walking Tour. The next destination on my route is the capital, Lisbon, but there is one more site to see on the way to Lisbon, Queluz Palace. This is Queluz Palace. Again, I will not enter inside but will enjoy it from outside. It is one of the best examples of Rococo style in Europe. Queluz Palace is built in the 18th century. It belonged to the kings of Portugal until 1908, when it was transferred to the state. Now it is another tourist attraction, a museum of art and architecture. If you want to explore it in detail, take a look on the video of Road Trip Spain and Portugal, a day trip to the Queluz Palace near Lisbon. With this, I leave Sintra and Queluz. Now in front of me is Lisbon, the capital of Portugal. So stay with me further on my route to the east and subscribe to our channel Journey Beyond the Horizon for more video journeys.